Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Horror Podcast. My name is Sean,
And I'm Missy.
and the movie we're going to talk about today might not be a horror movie. Um, I don't know. I actually thought this
I
movie was pretty horrifying.
Yeah, I think it's at least horror adjacent.
Yeah, it's
Like
definitely
it
adjacent. There's no doubt. So this is Lorcan Finnegan's new movie, The Surfer with Nick Cage. Um, I really like Lorcan Finnegan. I first encountered him with Without Name, which is from 2016, and it is a very quiet little Irish folk horror movie that I really enjoy. He subsequently did Vivarium, which was a much bigger movie. Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots, uh, and then he did Nocebo in 2022. So The Surfer's his new movie, and it is in some cinemas right now. Missy, you saw it at AMC. Is it today?
Yeah,
So I'm assuming that there are regular show times by you.
only a couple though.
But
I
still,
mean,
like, it's like if you're in Chicago and you want to go see it tomorrow, there's probably at least one or two
yeah, there
show
should
times.
be. There was like a five and I went to see it at five. I think there was a 7:30 or something. And that was it. And I'm sure it'll be there at least for the week, but it is in the little dinky theater with the four rows where they show the foreign films. And there were two other humans in the theater with me.
I'm so perplexed by my theater now. Clarksville, small market, but we had a screening yesterday at 7 o'clock, and it was listed as advanced screening with a live stream Q&A with Nick Cage afterwards.
Did you get that?
So first of all, it did not open on any screens today. It's not listed at all going forward in my theater. It is in
Really?
the Opry Mills one in Nashville, but no, it's that was the only showing apparently. And
Holy shit.
also, Regal, if you're listening, Kirsten and I and like two or three other people, there was maybe 8, 10 people in the theater.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
Almost everybody left. We stuck around. Credits stopped rolling. Lights came on. Waited 10 minutes, and I just fucking left. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Maybe it was before?
No, it was definitely not before. And to the listeners, Missy and I have this joke because she always leaves late, gets there with maybe one trailer, and then the movie starts. I always think I'm going to leave late. I leave early, and I get there, and I still have to watch all the pre-show shit and trailers. Yesterday, and I kind of stopped doing that. The last couple times we've gone, I've almost got it down where I'm getting there and just seeing like a trailer or two. Yesterday, I was like, I want to leave early because I just have this fucking feeling. That motherfucker started at 7:05. There was no pre-show shit. There were two trailers and it started. So I was very lucky that I
Oh
did
wow.
not try to push it. But yeah, so it's not playing by me. I'm sure it's playing in, major markets and other places. Like I said, it is playing in Nashville, but Clarksville it was just that one screening. So
I go to a big box AMC and I mean they had two or three showings and it's still going to be there through the weekend because I had looked. Um so I would imagine it'll probably be there for the week, but if you're interested in it, I'd try to go this week.
yeah, go sooner rather than later for sure.
Right.
This movie is not a movie for the masses. This will not be there long.
No. No, it will not.
We're gonna go
It
spoiler free, but I do want to talk spoilers because I really want to talk about this fucking movie. I think this
mhm.
is one of the most conversation inspiring films that I'm gonna see all year. I just have a feeling.
I
Uh,
don't disagree. It's an odd one.
Man,
Um
is it a fucking weird movie? And
I'm
not
still
weird. Usually, when I say that, it's for something like that's you look at the screen and see that it was weird. You'd look at the screen
No,
and not necessarily know how weird this movie is, right? Like it's not on
yeah,
the screen.
for sure.
It's in your head as you're watching it because it
But it's
fucks with
weird.
you.
It does. It's definitely weird. And I I do want to go full spoiler because I need to talk to you about the ending because I I think I know what happened, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, so we'll
So
give you ample warning. We'll do our chainsaw sound effect, and when you hear that, it means we're going to go full spoiler. So before that, without going full spoiler, I'm going to ask you what you thought of this. But first, let me just read the plot synopsis on IMDb because I feel like this sums it up pretty good. A man returns to the idyllic beach of his childhood to surf with his son. When he's humiliated by a group of locals, the man is drawn into a conflict that keeps rising and pushes him to his breaking point. So, talk about what it was like to watch this movie.
I'm still processing it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm I'm pretty sure I liked it. Although I'm still not entirely sure I understand. I think I know what happened, but I want to bounce it off you. Um, but it's just such a weird fucking movie.
It
Uh,
really is.
I love the way it's filmed. It's the cinematography is outstanding. The the score is interesting, but
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it's got this kind of happy score that doesn't seem like it is going along with what is happening on screen. Um, so I mean, it's visually a very cool movie to watch. It's a pretty film, and I love Nick Cage, and I love that he's doing horror and indie. So like, I have no problem supporting something like this. I don't regret my time spent with it. It is going to be a good movie to talk about, but I'm just not sure. Like, I think I liked it, but it's a super mindfuck movie, and not in the way we're used to. Like,
No.
you're watching this movie, and in the beginning, you feel like you're kind of on his side because you think you know what's happening, but later on you wonder if is it actually happening or is he just fucking insane and losing his mind. I think Nick Cage does a good, I mean, his performance is good.
Yeah, it's really good, I think. And it's a subtle Nick Cage, even though I feel like
Yeah, it is.
some people might like watch this and be like, this isn't subtle at all. I think it is. I think there's a
It
lot of
is.
layers to it.
And the other actor, the main antagonist, what is his
Scally.
name? I know, yeah, I know him from somewhere. He was also very good.
He's fucking great. I mean, Jesus Christ, is he's
Yeah,
uh
I mean, it
Julian
just,
McMahon. Um I mean, I've never seen the Fantastic Four movies from the 2000s, but he was Doctor
mm,
Doom. So that was a
oh, I don't
pretty
know.
big role.
But he's very, like, he's super fucking creepy.
Yeah, he is.
And the movie just makes you, like, it amps up your anxiety, but it also makes you feel like you're being gaslit while you're watching it.
Well, yes, that's a very good way to say it because there's a point where everything Nick Cage's character thinks he knows about himself is called into question, which is, if you can imagine being in that place, and that's we've seen this in other movies, right? But if you can imagine being in that place, that is a terrifying thing. But they do it to you because you're like,
Yeah,
wait a minute. But I saw his car. I saw this. I saw that. How is that
right.
not? Are you telling me that's not it? What am I like? It makes you question your own sense of cognition. And it is
Yeah,
really
that's a good way to see
uncomfortable.
it.
It
Say
is
it.
really uncomfortable.
It is, but it's also really, really cool because I can't think of any movie that has made me feel that way.
No, I agreed. It is unlike anything I've ever seen. There are similar
Yeah.
things, but they do not do it the way this movie does it.
And I mean, there are, I did not find it boring at all. Like
No.
I was very interested in it, and you feel like you are sitting front, you're riding shotgun with this guy, and you feel like you're watching him descend into madness. Like you're losing your mind, and it makes you feel that way.
Yeah, man, it really makes you call into question everything you've seen, but not in the way that, like, I mean, I feel like there's Brad Anderson or Christopher Nolan movies or whatever that, like, oh, you'll question everything you've seen, but that's in like a movie way. There's something about this movie that makes you question it in a way more like existential, personal way, and I don't know how exactly they accomplished that. But it is really fucking weird. And then there's also a lot of like really, and I think this term is a warranted term, but I don't like this term because it's the way it gets bandied about. But there is a lot of toxic masculinity in this fucking movie. Like really the Scally's character. And actually I
Hmm.
never watched the show. He is one of the leads. People will know him from Nip Tuck. Never saw that, but he's one of the
That's
two
how I know.
doctors.
I've never really watched it either, but my mother used to, and I've
Okay.
seen bits, like, just walking through, seeing bits, but that's probably why he looked familiar to me, and I
Okay.
couldn't place him.
Man,
It's just a really unsettling film.
but in this weird happy, like there's almost like you said, the music is like happy
Hmm.
and like it's sunny and the cinematography and the surroundings with the
And the
beach
way
and
they shoot the water, it's
yeah.
it's a very pretty, well-made movie. And I don't have much experience with Lorcan Finnegan. I've only seen one other movie and I hated it.
Bavarium, right?
Vivarium was not for me. Yeah, you recommended it because you loved it. And I remember being, all right, I'm going to rent this movie and it's going to be awesome. And I fucking bloody hated this movie.
Oh, that's
And Peter
funny.
was watching it with me and he hated it too. It was one of those where we kept waiting for it to get better and it never did. This was a completely different experience. I overall I would say I liked that this made me feel something that I've never felt while watching a film.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love the way it's shot.
So Without Name is on Shutter right now, and I really like that movie. It was like I found that back in like I don't know 2018, 2019. It was just on Prime. I don't know
It
how I found it, and I watched it, and it made a really lasting impression on me.
okay. It, I mean, and we know I don't have the best track record with folk horror. Is it
Well,
something? It's not
it's
going to bore me to tears, is it?
it. I can't promise you. It's not folk
Okay.
horror like you're used to folk horror.
If it's a
It,
more modern take on it with hints of folk horror, those usually kind of work. I'll try
it's
it. I'll try it. We'll see how it goes.
but so that's really the movie that I connect with the most from him. But it's been cool to see to go from that, which is a very small movie, to Vivarium, which is, arguably like two pretty big stars, Imogen Poots and Jesse. Maybe they're not stars per se, but I mean
They're
they're big
known.
names.
She was making a lot of horror at that time too.
Yeah, definitely. And then Nocebo is Mark Strong and Eva Green. And again, it was one of those movies where like I think I rented it as soon as it hit VOD at the end of 2022, expecting it to be on like my best of list, like a late entry. And I think the night that I rented it, I like fell asleep in the middle of the movie, and it was one of the. This always gets me. This always fucks up movies. Watching it, fall asleep, and wake back up, and don't realize you've fallen asleep and woken
Hmm.
back up. So then you're like, wait a minute, what did I miss? And then you back it up and you're like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? And then you try
Right.
again and then you fall asleep again. It's like it happened with it's happened with multiple movies where I'm like Arrival and Moon were both movies I just did not take to, and everybody I know that saw them is like, how is it even possible? They're like made for you. I'm like, yeah, because this happened. So anyway, whatever. But the Surfer, I mean, I don't know. I think this is going to be high on my list. The more I think about this movie, I don't know. It's just very singular.
Hmm.
Man.
Yeah, I'd say if you like, you you like mindfuck movies and you just like weird indies and stuff like that, then it's absolutely worth checking out. I think it's worth your time, but it's not going to be for everyone.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. Um, Written by Thomas Martin, who I'm unfamiliar with, but wrote, he's from Tin Star and Ripper Street, which are two British TV series I've always heard good things about. Um, the composer, this will be interesting. The composer is Francois Tataz. I'm probably not saying that correctly, but do you know what he did? We were just talking about this last night, actually.
No,
And he, he did Hesher. He was a
really?
composer on Hesher. It's so
Oh,
weird.
that's cool.
When people hear our episode on The Passenger, that comes up. And then the cinematographer is Radek. Oh man, brother, I'm gonna say your name wrong. Ladzuk, uh, who did The Nightingale, also spoken about last night. um, and one of the Guillermo del Toro Cabinet of Curiosity. But at any rate, the point being, like, I feel like, man, this was just a really, and Cage produced this, so like that,
Okay.
I picture Cage got this script and was like, I want to do this. Like he
Hmm.
saw what he could do, and that's where he's at in his career, right? And
Hmm.
he could see these things and be like, yeah. And the only reason this fucking, and not as a knock to this movie, if this movie starred, I don't fucking know, whoever, it would not have been in the fucking theater. But Nick
Hmm.
Cage's name got it, in Clarksville. It put it in the theater for one day
And he
with
does a good job.
he does a great job. I
Yeah,
mean,
he does a
he
good
really
job.
does. The movie basically centers around him. He is a large part of the movie, like he's like
He
80% of the
carries
movie.
the movie.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
mean, you've
mean.
got some big antagonists, but you are seeing the entire thing from his point of view. You
His
are
point of
sharing
view.
his experience. I dug it, and it was nice to see it on a big screen because it is a very pretty film.
Yeah.
Like the cinematography is beautiful, and I love they do some cool shots of the ocean with the waves and whatnot. And I would feel very confident recommending it to someone like you or, you know, our other friends on Horror Vision and stuff like that, but not to somebody who does like just mainstream movies. Like I wouldn't recommend this to my mother; she'd hate it, even
Right,
though she
right.
likes Nick Cage.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, Sound of the Chainsaw, you're in spoiler country, so if you haven't seen it, which you probably haven't, turn it off. Come back when you come back after you see it when you want somebody to talk about it because you're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck did I just watch?
So tell me your theory.
Okay. So we go through all this stuff with him where you feel like you're getting gaslit. The through the whole thing, he wants to buy this house that is the house he grew up in and is tied to his father. Although I think his father died on the beach.
Yeah, his father blew his
Um,
brains out on the beach. Yeah.
that's what I thought. Okay. So like this man is willing to sacrifice everything to get this house, like stretch his funds to nothing. He like I don't understand why he even wants it so much because he's losing everything to try to get it.
Hmm.
Like it makes, and if nobody wants you there, like fuck it, you're having that much trouble with the locals, go somewhere else.
Hmm.
But so we go through all this with him, and you start to feel like, did he actually have these things, the car, the phone, all the different stuff, this, or is he just going crazy? Then we get to a point where he seems like he's been accepted into the cult.
Hmm.
But when we, so my question, I think, is, all right, we've had this bum walking around throughout the movie.
Hmm.
And when we see him at the end, he looks like he's wearing the same suit that Nick Cage was wearing. And I think
He
that,
took it out of the bathroom.
okay, but he also, like, to me, he looks like an older version of him.
Oh, he does. It's on purpose for sure.
Right. So is he the bum? And is all of this in his head?
So I think there's a part of it. I think it could be left open to interpretation, but this is what. So okay, so we get Nick Cage shows up with his teenage son at this beach, and so this is a joint Ireland, um, Australian, uh, funded movie. So it's written and
Okay.
directed by and worked on by people from Ireland, and it's shot in Australia and probably utilized a Australian crew. Um, So he brings his son to this Luna Bay, this picturesque beach where people go to surf in Australia. And he explains, I grew up here and I'm buying my old house, my dad's old house. And in the first part of the movie, while he's there with his son, he's on the phone with both his broker, moving money around to try and buy this house because he's been outbid and now he needs to come up with another like $100,000. And he's waiting on the call back from his broker to see if he can raise the money so he can put down this bid to get to win back the house. And they go to surf, and it's a locals only thing. I mean, it's like a real thing, obviously, but it's a very aggressive locals only. So right away, as soon as they go down there with their surfboards, dude named Pitbull, or that they refer to as Pitbull, comes out of the water. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, he's not fucking around. Then Scally shows up. He's basically like, look, just leave. You're not supposed to be here. This guy here, he'll beat the fucking teeth out of your kid's head in front of you. So just leave. Turns out Nick Cage knows Scally. I don't know if they grew up together, but they knew each other when they were younger. Um, it's unclear at that point if Scally recognizes him. But so for some fucking reason, Nick Cage just hangs out in the parking lot in his car. The kid leaves. I don't remember if he drops the kid off or what, but the kid
He takes
leaves.
him home. He
Okay.
takes him home, but then he comes back.
So he comes back and like he just stays there for like overnight. And the first night, there's no reason for him to do that, but he does. And so it's like, oh, that's weird. And there's a couple other really weird, like he talks to his boss, and his boss is like, you're not coming in today. He's like, yeah, I got to take a day. And he's like, what I hear this about you coming in the office without shoes and socks yesterday? So there's like these things that don't add up. And then the locals really start to ramp up the way that they fuck with him. And his phone dies. He goes to this guy with a coffee kiosk and asks him to charge his phone. And the guy's like, you got to give me your watch as collateral. And the guy disappears. Now he's got no phone. He's got no watch. Then his car disappears. There's a cop that's coming around. He calls the police because they steal a surfboard off the top of his car. The cop's like, that's not your surfboard. That's their surfboard. And then the car's gone. And then, so meanwhile, there's this homeless guy that's walking around looking for his dog. And he does look like Nick Cage. And Nick Cage first
Yeah.
trades his
And
sunglasses.
his son is missing as well.
Yeah, well,
You know,
his son is dead.
oh,
I think the dog is missing, but it's definitively known the son is dead. It's just whether or
he
not
can't
these
prove
guys
it.
had something to do with the fact that his son died, right? And And these guys, they just lit like they just are on the beach all the time. They've got a little fucking beach shack, and
Hmm.
they just party and surf and fuck with people. And you start to get the impression that, like, so first Nick Cage trades his sunglasses for binoculars with the bum. Then he goes into the bathroom and takes off his suit coat and his shoes and his socks, and then they disappear because the fucking bum takes them. And so now he's walking around. He's got no shoes, no socks. Um,
His car's gone.
well, then his car's gone, and but then people are
The
like,
cop comes back and tells him that the the red car that the homeless man has been living out of is his car.
yeah, and so that's when 100% I was like, wait a minute, he's the fucking bum.
Right.
This is all like, and then they even like he's staggering around. He's like, I gotta call my broker, and everybody's looking at him like
Right.
this insane homeless guy. And they're even like, you didn't have a phone, you didn't have a car. What are you fucking talking about, man? And it's such a severe gaslighting. And when he re-encounters that photographer woman and she remembers him, the
Hmm.
relief on his face, I felt like was on my face because I was like, he's like, I have a name, I have a son, I have a house. I was like, whoa, man, oh my God, because I went through it with him somehow. It was so weird.
Right. But the whole thing is that I think all of it is in his head and that he is that bum throughout the movie. And then he has his last stand and then he dies on the beach like his father did.
That's a valid read. I think I tend to look at it because so there's a point where he's observing the 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 guys on the beach, the kind of cult, like you said, these
The
locals. He's
Bay Boys.
observing them, and they're yeah, the Bay Boys, and they're talking about Scally's talking about the Shaolin monks, and this is a lot of people will know this from like ninja lore. They use it in Fight Club, like you go to train. It was supposedly back in like feudal Japan. If you went to train with a certain samurai or ninja master or whatever, they would reject you, and you would sit on their porch for 7 days and nights, and only after that time would they let you in because you've proven yourself. So Scally's talking about that.
Oh.
Okay. So as soon as that happened, I was like, wait a minute. And this is kind of in the height of them gaslighting Cage. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, they're doing this to him. He's got to pass this. And then he does. And then there's this whole sequence where he's welcomed in and they're like, no, brother, we've got your car. It's at the auto shop getting fixed. And you got the house. Blondie here is the fucking head of the bank. He'll get you the extra 50,000 and so and so's a doctor and it's like all of a sudden he's like accepted and then it becomes a kind of thing where it's like now you're in with these guys, but you've seen what they are. Do you want to be right?
Hmm.
But I my read is that he is not the bum, but there was a fucking good period of time where I thought that he was the same way he literally thinks he was that guy. Like it is such an unnerving way that they convey that.
So you think that there really is a cult and he was welcomed into it then?
Yeah, yeah. It's not really a cult. It's kind of a cult. It's a
It's
it, it's
culty.
it is culty because they all follow Scally and Scally also. There's
Well, and they've got that whole
the
suffering
suffer
and
before you
surfing.
surf, right? But
Right.
actually, I was incorrect. He doesn't observe Scally talking about the monks in Japan on the beach. He looks at his Instagram page and he's got a reel where he's basically like this guy that businesses call in, this kind of new age guru that they'll call in to like revamp their employees, right? And he's talking about this. He's like, modern man is they just expect to be handed everything. They don't suffer for anything. So he's got this whole idea built around suffering he's kind of based on the scaffolding of like feudal Japan or whatever. but really he's a scumbag because he's like banging what some underage chick, or I don't know if she was
Hmm.
underage, but there was a comment like she's pretty
It
young.
was insinuated that she was.
Yeah, and he's just a scum. You could just tell he's a scumbag, right? I
Hmm.
mean, like, oh man. But yeah, when he brings him the beer and the sandwiches as a peace offering, that's when I
Hmm.
was like, for sure they are testing him. There's no doubt because he's giving him an out. He's like, look, just eat, drink, and then we'll help you out. We'll get you out of here, and you just be on your way. Like he's giving him an out, and he doesn't take it, and that means that he passes. So
Hmm.
my read is that he is not the bum.
Okay. I mean, I think that it can work either way, and
Yeah, I think it can too. I agree.
both are interesting interpretations, and that's what makes it a cool movie. That
Exactly.
that we can have such different interpretations and a good conversation about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would watch it again, and probably, I mean, I feel like a second time around, you may get a really different read on it too,
That's a
because
that's a really good point.
you'll have an idea of, like, I had no idea what was coming when I walked into this. I had seen a really cool trailer that John from the show had uh shown me, and I'm like, okay, this looks awesome. I thought it was going to be a revenge film. Like,
I had no idea what to expect. I had not seen a trailer and knew nothing about it other than it was Finnegan and Cage. That's all I knew.
okay, I saw that it was Nick Cage, and just from the trailer, I could tell I would like the cinematography. So I wanted to check it out, but I just had a feeling it was going to be a revenge film, and that, like when he had his first run in with the locals, like maybe something was going to happen to the son or something.
That's what I was kind of anticipating. Like,
And this was not that at all.
no.
And it just caught me really off guard. But again, it was just a really bizarre ride. And like, shout out to Nick Cage. I love that he does this. Not only is
Yeah.
he found his place in horror, but I love that he does these weird indies. And like, again, this is why I love movies. This is why I go to theaters.
I'm glad you
So,
dug it. I wasn't 100% sure because I didn't know for the first like hour of this movie if I liked it. It has such an odd,
mhm.
specifically unique tone that I just couldn't put my finger on it. Like I was like, fuck, man. And now I feel like when I see it again, I will go into it expecting it to
in a
be The
mhm.
Surfer. You know what I mean? And not anything else.
I'll be looking more at how these different things are playing out to see if I get a different read on it. If I think it's mental illness and he's the bum, or if it's, they're just fucking with him and it's a trial.
Hmm.
But I'm glad that it is getting at least a small theater run, and I'm glad I got to see it in a theater. I did really like the cinematography. It does have a little bit of like Point Break vibes in the way it's
Yeah.
filmed, and that whole kind of that locals only beach
Yep.
guru kind of thing. I mean, they're really different movies, um, but I think that's why it appealed to me.
Yeah.
But I went into it not like not sure how I was going to feel about it because I hated Vibarium.
And
Hated.
I understand that. I mean, well,
That
that
movie drove
movie,
me insane.
but that's I think what Finnegan does. I really want to rewatch. Rewatch Without Name somewhat recently because I got the Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome as soon as it dropped. But Vivarium I've only seen the once, but I feel like my takeaway from that movie a couple years later, and knowing how you felt about it, like Lorcan Finnegan's very good at like this psychological subterfuge
Hmm.
and I think
He's
the thing with Vivarium is it's extremely frustrating because it's extremely frustrating for the characters. And I have a feeling now coming out of this movie that I think potentially you basically go through what they go through,
hmm
which is,
which is really cool. Like, and it's very powerful filmmaking. And when we think about it that way, I know exactly why I didn't like Vivarium, because not only did it feel very repetitive, but it felt very confined and trapped, and I don't
oh
like that
yeah,
feeling.
that is the
This,
point of the movie. Yeah.
while you feel like you're losing your damn mind, it's still all open and
Yeah.
outside and on the beach, and
Hmm.
I'm more receptive to it, I guess. But yeah, I think it's worth seeing in a theater, as long as, like, if you're a film geek, check it out.
Yeah,
If,
I 100%
you know,
agree.
because like I would not show this to Peter, he would hate it. What kind of pretentious bullshit are you showing me? This would not be for him, and that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
But if you
man.
like weird movies and you have the opportunity to catch it in a theater, try it.
I second that notion.
Did Kirsten go with you? Did she
Yeah,
like it?
she was unsure as of even this morning. We talked
Okay.
about it at length yesterday. And there's some things about it that there
Did
are
she
some
see?
uh-huh.
She often sees things we don't. Did she have any?
She was very confused, as was I, but
Okay.
like she's like, I don't understand why the fuck did he not leave once they charged his car? Like,
Right.
but I think there's something there. So that's where you start thinking like as it goes on from there, and you suspect that he's the bum. That is another thing that
Mm-hmm.
backs that interpretation up, right? Because it's like because he can't leave, maybe.
Right.
But I think it has more to do with this in this like kind of I think there's a lot of exploration of like male tendencies here. So there's a toxic element, but also I think it's this thing where it's like he can't let it go. Not only the house, but the fucking fact that he can't surf there because these guys are telling him not to. He's not really making a move to do it, but he just cannot fucking he just can't deal with it. So he just stands there. He just stays there and he won't, it is very perplexing because it's at first it just seems like a contrivance of plot. Like why would you not leave? Or like why would you not just like he at one point he pays a pizza guy $100 for a pizza. Just drive. Well, how far could it possibly be to a gas
Right.
station to get something to eat or whatever, right? Like there's certain things where it's like, is
Like, he
this just a
won't leave,
contrivance?
which is, I thought that, well, as things are playing out, I thought that he's been here. He
Yeah,
can't leave because this is all in his head, and he's the bum, and he's been
yeah.
here all this time, and he's woven this elaborate web. But did he ever even have these things he thought he had?
Yeah.
And he could and he could not let go of this dream he had. Like, but yeah, somewhere I think after the battery is where I'm like, he doesn't leave because he can't leave. Like,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a sound interpretation for sure. But I mean, and that point, there's a point where it's
but I
like,
your interpretation too.
there's a point where he's like, I don't know what he's screaming, but he's like yelling, and it's like everybody's laughing at him, like even like the
Mm-hmm.
family that was there to look at the house or whatever. And it's so exaggerated the way that they
Mm-hmm.
shoot it that I was
But you
like,
know it's in his head. It's not happening.
yeah, I was like, okay, wait a minute. This is not actually, we're not, he's not reliable.
Right.
But on what scale? And then when he runs back into the camera chick is when I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute. But it's again, it's the beauty of the movie. It's like I don't know. Really fucking unique movie. I have to say this is one of the most unique movies I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah,
And I think there are people that might hear that, go see it and be like, "Fuck you, dude." No. But I think it is. I just think you have to be open to its
yeah, you have to just surrender to this movie,
yeah.
and yeah, you have to just surrender to it and take the ride.
Yeah.
Because
And it
I
almost
thought,
keeps you from doing it. It's almost like it's trying to keep you from doing it. Like I don't want you to do that. Like it's pushing you away. It's like
mhm,
it's a very complicated movie.
it really is. And I walked into it like I thought I had a fairly good idea from the trailer where this thing was going, and it went none of those places.
Did you see why I sent you that text yesterday? It was just like, oh God. Like I wanted to text you something, but I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck to say. Like, uh,
Well, now that we're talking about it, I have like I feel confident saying I liked it, but I still don't know which way I interpret it. I like both of our interpretations.
yeah, I do
And I
too.
look forward to watching it again to because I will certainly pick up a lot more the second time
Yeah, oh yeah.
because you have an idea of the ride you're going on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You
You
know
have a
what to
better lay
brace
of the
for.
land.
Hmm.
Oh man. Wow.
But yeah, it's a unique film with I think solid performances and really good cinematography. Like,
Yeah,
but it's weird.
it is weird.
I walked out of the theater and the first message I sent you was, I'm not sure how I feel about that. That movie was fucking weird.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt when I left the theater. I was just like, man, I don't know.
I mean, but from your oh God, like I was expecting it to fuck with me more,
Well,
I
you
guess. Like
you
I
ex you expect when you hear people say it fucks with you or it does, like you're expecting something that is not what this is because it's so unique. Like that's the thing. It's like anybody listening to this, like I still don't feel like you're gonna walk in. I think you're gonna know what we're talking about, and I
then
just don't think.
you start feeling like they're fucking with you. Because it's like,
Yeah,
wait, did
no, they do. They
like
fuck with you.
is that did he have a car? He says he had a Lexus, he came in a car, but he's unreliable.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
they really fuck with you.
right. It's like it starts to feel like there's no way this whole town is in on this. That this is in his head. They're fucking with you.
Oh man.
Yeah, crazy film. I'm glad we went to see it. I'm glad the
Yeah,
theaters got
likewise.
it.
Likewise. So that's The Surfer, and if you got it, go see it.
Oh yeah,
And this is the Horror Vision. I'm Sean.
and I'm Missy.
Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. A video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of A Collection of Desires, Shadow Play. and Murder Virus comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no sleep work along with several never-before-published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, due out later this year.